Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Come with me as we step into the deep, dark forest of fear, and let us pray that we see sunrise in the morning. Tonight's show, guys, is the 4th chapter in the incredible series written by my friend Mr. Jim Lawrence of JLStories. Please, as ever, do let us know down below in the comments what you thought. Please do like and share, and of course, don't forget to hashtag Team Fear. Big thank you to all of you for your feedback and response to this series. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful comments. I know Jim does really appreciate it, and as much as I do, really helps boost our confidence in what we do. Thank you. Without further ado, let's get into tonight's story, entitled The Scariest Thing in the Woods. Tony. Let's get straight into that. I'm exhausted after the latest adventure, and Lou's not in good shape either. I'd take him to a vet I've used before. My wounds have all but healed, though I am still sore, but Lou's haven't. His shoulder is pretty raw after his fight. The vet says that he is pretty much out of commission, for a few weeks anyway. He cleans and dresses the wound, and then asks me how it happened. I tell the doctor we were hunting a problem bear, and Lou was swatted pretty good. The doc says he will be fine, he's healing good, but doesn't recommend fighting any bears in the near future. Then the doctor says, in all seriousness, he's to be just a dog for at least a month, and not a hunter. I agree, and we're back on our way. Tommy's waiting on me as I head into Ranger HQ. You did a good job, Jim. I ask if the depth is still on my arse. No, not really, but you might want to stay clear of any green uniforms for a bit. I laugh, and you got a deal there. I'm sorry to hear about Lou being laid up. Oh boy, here comes the but. Yeah, sorry Jim, but we got a call on a problem cat up close to Bosman. Man, that last cat hunt I was on lasted 3 days, and that was a big son of a bitch too. I think to myself, and with the way my luck's been going, what the hell will I run into this time? Possibly a dragon or something? I snap back to this world. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, boss. I kinda hate going alone though. I'm used to having Lou beside me, all the time. Tom shakes his head in an understanding way and wishes me good luck. I head back to my station, and it's on the way anyway. I let Lou out of the truck. The princess comes out to him. Lou looks at me and heads into the tree cover. Get well quick, boy. You know I need you. Tony comes out to see me. This is still strange. I pack my gear and clean my rifle, and look at the map as to where I'm going and where to start my hunt. I load up my gear and weapons and get ready to pull out. Tony looks at me with a cocked head. Reminds me of a Labrador that I used to have. Damn, you're more dog than wolf, boy. Oh my god, he's expecting to take Lou's place. He wants to go. How on earth am I going to take him with me? I'm not worried about him and the big cat. He can make short work of one by himself. But how will I manage this? He really doesn't look like a big dog when on all fours. He obeys well. Ah, well, I'm too far into the weird and paranormal and abnormal to do anything now. Okay, get in the back. I have a camper on top of my truck. I open the window into the cab as he sticks his mammoth head through it, and I thought Lou had a big head. Tomorrow is the 1st of October, and the road is covered well in snow as we drive up 191 towards Bosman, Montana. You have to mind me, boy. No sounds, like I was expecting an answer. I need rest, and I'm not getting it. The different thing about this hunt, though, is I'm taking my problem with me. I should have brought along a good supply of aspirin. I think I'm going to need it. I think of the girl that I met, Dawn, and the words she told me. The evil is coming and I must deal with it. And I will. I need all my allies, though. I guess it's about time to see how well Tony can pick up hunting, tracking, and most of all learning to work with me. At least there's one thing I'm sure of. If anyone sees him there, there will be no question of just what the scariest thing is in the woods. We arrive in Bosman around 4 p.m. It's lightly snowing. I head to the Martin farm. I find out this cat has taken 3 calves. Bad for the owner, especially since he only produces about 4 calves in a year. To Mr. Martin, this is a serious financial burden. He shows me the tracks. I have told Tony to lay down and wait quietly in the back of the truck. I examine the tracks. Cougar, all right. I'm guessing about 150 pounds. He's young, most likely. That's why he's messing with the calves. Then I tell Mr. Martin I will kill it within a couple of days. The older man thanks me and asks if I will take supper with him and his wife. I graciously decline and back my truck up to the wood line where I saw the tracks into the forest. No one around, I let Tony out and we disappear into the woods. I tell Tony to stay by me. We find a clearing about a mile or two in and I think it's time to rest. We're still on the track, but it may be dark to see them much later. Tony is untried in sniffing out prey at night. I know he can do it, but if I let him go, I know I can't keep up with him. Best to hit this up in the morning. I sling my hammock. I tell Tony don't go far. God, I hope he can understand me. He actually curls up underneath me, close to the Apache fire pit I made, and the tarp over my hammock. Around midnight, Tony wakes me up. He's standing at his full height, eyes glowing, teeth bared. I don't know about anyone else, but when you get awoken like that, you don't feel sure of yourself. I gather my weapons. There is another fire in the distance. Let's check it out, boy. We approach the fire, and I hear chanting. It's a small clearing. A group of people have built a bonfire. Nothing wrong with that, boy, but I keep looking. These men are chanting something. I'm curious. I tell Tony to stay as I walk into the clearing. As I've noticed men stop chanting, these guys are wearing robes. Now, what have I stepped into? The men approach me. There's 13 of them. I don't see any weapons, but I'm on guard anyway. The apparent leader says, "What are you doing here?" "Well, I was sleeping until you woke me up with that chanting." "We saw no fire. You sure you weren't following us?" Another man says. "Gentlemen," and I use the term loosely, I say under my breath, in case you haven't noticed, I'm wearing a ranger uniform, and this is Yellowstone. I'm on patrol with my partner. I noticed you gathering and thought I'd better check it out. Now back to my question. What are you doing here? "Just a little gathering of our club. You know, commune with nature like," the leader says. I tell him communing with nature doesn't normally mean a huge bonfire in a forest and chanting in robes. Now tell me the truth, or I'm going to run you all in as a fire hazard to the woods. They look at each other, and one says, "We're trying to summon something and you interrupted us." "What the hell do you mean summon? Like a demon or something?" I say. One man says, "No, just a goat man." "Why the hell would you want to summon a satyr?" "No, a goat man," one protests. I put my face in my palms. That's what a goat man is. It's a demonic beast. Now as a satyr. The leader breaks in. "Yes, we need it to bring us luck, prosperity, to help us. Well, back in the day, a bunch of you cultists down in Texas were going to summon a goat man. It was in a little town, I believe Denton. Anyway, the rumour was they succeeded in summoning the creature, and the only thing they got for it is dead. They still say the creature haunts the woods in that area, and has even attacked people. So, are you absolutely sure you want to do this? Do you even know what one looks like?" "Sure," one of the men says. "Horns, very tall and glowing yellow eyes." I catch something out the corner of my eyes. "Ranger, didn't you say you had a partner?" I nod. "Yes." "Why doesn't he come out? I guess he's shy." The movement caught was one of the men trying, though poorly to get behind me with a big stick. I shout, "Tony!" and he steps from behind a tree, still in the shadows, standing at his full height, glowing yellow eyes, and lets out a feral growl that even gives me a slight quiver. Everyone breaks and turns tail and runs for it, screaming, "It's a goat man! It's a goat man! Run for your lives!" Tony doesn't come out any further. He doesn't need to. The clearing clears in seconds and I can't control myself. I literally roll on the ground laughing. I can't remember the time I saw something so funny. Tony lets out a loud, long howl and come over to make sure I'm okay. "Good boy," as I rub his head. "You may not be Lou boy, but you're great to have around." We go back to our camp and back to sleep. I sleep the next few hours very peacefully, knowing exactly who the scariest thing in the woods is. We're back on the trail at first light. I swear a Boy Scout could follow these tracks. People don't realise how far a cougar can range. My thoughts go to those men last night. How can man be so stupid as to try and summon something so pure evil? For years now, I have denied things like this exist, but I know the supernatural does exist. I admit I didn't know about the Bigfoot tribes or the dogmen. These don't seem supernatural to me. Amazing, yes, but only creatures, and differently, not evil. I see how if someone saw Tony here, they would be afraid. Even more so if he went savage on them. I have seen wolves get mad, and for their territory, it gets taken, and that's a frightening sight. But Tony is 10 times worse, and that Bigfoot down in North Carolina. But they seem peaceful, only wanting to be left alone. I'm going to have to go back to Kentucky soon. What I saw down there had no intent of being friendly. It didn't bother Lou and I. No, we were not a threat. Or was it unsure of our strength? Could it sense that I am a forest touched? I smile at the word. Nice word for just a common... What is that? I see Tony pull up. Scat. The scat of a big cat, to be exact. I check it out and it's still fresh. This thing is close. Easy boy. I think we're close to this kitty cat. With any luck, he's already treed himself. I scan the trees. No luck. And then I hear the scream. Sounds like a woman in the distance, in distress. But it's the cat. He's not far. But he knows we're in his territory. He's not going to fight, though. Not with Tony out here, anyway. This cat may be young, but it's smart. It hasn't gone to tree. It's actually leading us around in a circle. It's afternoon already, and I would have thought we would have treed it easily by now. No matter what, we're not stopping. He will get tired long before Tony and I do. Time is going by and it's mid-afternoon and we still haven't laid eyes on it. If I didn't have to keep my eyes on Tony, this wouldn't be so hard. We've got to finish this before dark. Come on, cat, go to tree. The sun is starting to set, and I curse my luck when it changes. After rounding one more corner, a tired mountain lion is resting on a rock. We got him, boy, as I unsling my rifle. 30 more seconds, and it would have been over, but not today, as Tony gives off a howl and charges the cat, and all hell breaks loose. Think of every cartoon you've ever seen where a dog is chasing a cat, and that's what we have here. Tony is faster, but the cat is more agile. I am doing everything in my power trying the best to keep up and shouting for Tony to stop, and he's not listening to me. He's dead set on catching the cat. Darkness has now fallen, and I'm trying to figure out which way they went. I hear the sounds, and no, he hasn't caught the thing yet. Something I didn't think of. Tony can climb. Cat goes up, Tony goes up. Cat jumps down, so does the dogman. I need a shot of bourbon. I head off in hope of the right direction, and I see a campfire off in the distance, and those two are heading right for it. The lion runs right into the middle of those men and wheels to the face of Tony. Then I see who is there. It's those fools, and they're trying to summon a goatman again. I cannot help but laugh, and they scatter like a flock of quail, screaming and begging for God to save them, vowing vows to stop playing with the stuff they don't understand. I look to the leader, and he's passed out by the fire. In seconds, he's the only one in the clearing except for the cat, Tony, and a lot of crap that came from under robes and down pant legs. I start to steady my rifle to the end of the cat when it leaps at Tony. Tony easily catches the cat in his massive jaws, and with one bone-crunching snap, the hunt is over. I skin out the great cat as fast as possible. Tony devours the meats and organs. Wow! I've never seen a wolf or bear eat like that. The leader of the cult group wakes up slowly, and Tony is already hiding in the tree line. Oh, what happened here? He stammers. Big cat. It ran in here and I shot it. No! It was a monster! A goat man, I saw it! How are you going to control a creature like that if you shit your breeches and pass out like a little girl? You're in the wrong occupation, son. That night I knock on a farmer's door and hand him the skin. I tell him maybe this will help recoup some of his loss. He offers me a bed for the night and I politely refuse and say I'm heading home. I'm a little tired after a run through the forest. I'm not lying. I took a picture for proof to Tom with a .308 round in the head, so as not to raise any questions. What I want to do is get drunk, but that will have to wait till I get home. Let's go home, boy. And we start back. We are driving through the forest, and it steps into my lights. What the As I slam on the brakes and stare. Standing just off the road is a large something. I stop and put on my night vision goggles. It's 7 feet tall with curled horns, cloven hooves, and carrying an axe. A goat man, I say. That son of a bitch must have succeeded in summoning one. I pull one of my 7.62 AP mags and have left grab my rifle and step out. It looks at me and twists his head. It roars a challenge as it lifts the axe and starts to advance. I put a round in its chest, a surprised look upon its face as the round penetrates through, but not very deeply. It brushes off whatever passes for blood in its race, and the next one I place is in its skull. This one doesn't seem to have any effect. I quickly place the third one in his chest, and again it seems to have hurt him, but still he advances. I remember something I once read about this creature, and I fired a fourth round into the fur, covering his genitals. This knocks him to the ground, but he gets up again, mad. He leaps over my truck, and my only course is to drop my rifle and pull my cookeries, but barely ducking a swinging blade. I slice with my blade, and I had more luck against a steel plate. Again, he swings. It becomes a dance. I have no doubt in my mind what that axe will do to me if it connects. I duck and roll, attack when I can. I think about how supernatural creatures can be here. Is this the evil from the north I'm supposed to face? Exhaustion is quickly claiming my body. I know I can't keep this up for much longer. And then it happens. I tripped. The goat man's standing above me. I hear a voice in my head so loud it hurts.
I was only going to send you to hell, but you hurt me, human, so now I will have my way with you. And all of hell will know, not that you die at my hands, but also that I made you my bit.
A loud crash breaks his mind in my voice. As I look up to see Tony had just torn the top off of my topper in my truck, and he was leaping at the goat man with all of his feral fury. All 8 foot and 600 pounds of Tony's form hits the goat man like a freight train. I've been on the receiving end of one of those charges. I know they hurt. Tony has got him locked up. His teeth and claws don't seem to be penetrating, but his jaw strength alone has him completely bound up, and connecting with those clawed hands, beating that thing down. I snap out of it. I have to help Tony, but with what weapon? What do I use? I think the axe that the goat man put down. His axe is to rape me. My night vision doesn't pick up a trace of the axe, and the goat man pushes Tony away and then rams him with his head backwards into my truck. Damn! That's going to leave a dent. I only have 2 payments left. I turn a light on my glasses, just in time to see Tony leap on him again. This time, Tony's weight brings him to the ground. Tony's jaw snaps on the thing's throat. It's not killing him, but at least it weighs him down. Finally, the axe, I find it. I pick it up. It's heavy, but my strength is more than enough to handle it. The goat man has pushed Tony back to his feet, and the two crash into each other once more. I look at the head of the axe. It's not steel. It's cold forged iron. I remember now as I grab the axe and swing it with all my might, as the goat man's attention is focused on Tony. I catch him solid in the back of his knees, and they buckle. I hear a scream of anguish in my mind, and I quickly swing again, this time into the head. He lay dead at my feet. Tony gave out a long victory howl as I watch the body dissolve. I look at my truck. The topper is completely destroyed, and the back quarter panel is pushed in. But I think it will at least get us home. Let's go, boy, before something else happens. The rest of the drive home is uneventful, thankfully, though I could swear I saw a deer by the road a mile or so from the station. It's 2 a.m. I walk into an empty station. Oh, I'm so glad no one is assigned here but me, as I fall into bed. I fall straight to sleep, but the dream returns about that dough. I'm so hungry. I dream of food. I awake starving, just like the dream, and smell the most wonderful smell of cooking food. As I get up, I notice I'm almost naked. I fell into bed in uniform. Where are my clothes? Am I still dreaming? Please let that food I smell be real. I am hungry. I slip on a pair of pants that's been laid out for me. I have the feeling I'm not alone. Where's Lou? And Tony? Surely Tony can't cook. I walk into a small kitchen the station has and see the long hair of a Native American girl. She's cooking something and Lou is right next to her, happily accepting bits of what she's cooking. No warrior you are, not dreaming, I hear her say. I know that voice. Dawn, what are you doing here? I told you, you would see me again. Now sit down, you need to eat. The meal is good though, it's mostly vegetables, some meat though. You're a very good cook. Thank you. You won a great battle days ago. 3 days. Have I been asleep that long? Yes. Don't worry about your job. I sent in the reports. How did you know what to do? Ah, never mind. You would think I would be used to the strange things by now. Tony come loping up and into the station, begging Dawn for a treat. Strange things indeed. I have eaten, showered, and put on a new uniform, and we're sitting outside with Lou and Tony. You have some interesting pets, Mr. Johnson, Dawn says. They're not pets, they're my friends. We look after each other. And she smiles. That goat man or satyr, was it the evil to the north that you spoke of? Oh no, it's not. But we'll be here soon. And it will be worse. I am sorely afraid you and your allies are not the scariest thing in the woods. Wow, absolutely fantastic once again. 5-star writing by JLStories there. As ever, guys and girls, please do let me know down below in the comments what you thought. As ever, please do like and share, and don't forget to hashtag Team Fear. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the majority of these stories that we've been putting out for the past month have been purely exclusive to the channel. And again, I want to thank each and every one of those writers, my friends from the cabin, that have stepped up and put themselves in an uncomfortable arena, I suppose, trying something new or possibly reigniting an old love of theirs. Really am humbled by their support, and this channel really does need that at the moment. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your start to the week. And above all, guys, remember, no matter what you're doing, where you are, day or night, keep your wits about you, eyes and ears open. And above all, remember. And above all, remember. Be safe, not sorry.